Hi, my name is Ryan DeBoer and I'm here to explain how a computer works. Computers come in many different sizes and shapes. They come in desktops, they come in laptops, tablets, cell phones, and even smartwatches. And you'll see them in even smaller form factors such as onboard computers in cars and other electronics. Computers are used in a wide array of stuff such as communications, machines. Even our financial system is operated by computers, and everybody knows how frustrating it is when a computer is not working. So it's very important that all these work together perfectly. Computers have many basic components that we'll look at here with an example. I have a desktop PC. The first and obvious component is the case. This is a fairly large case. This houses most of the internal components and helps with cooling, and it helps provide protection against dust and that kind of stuff. The first internal component we want to look at is right here. This is the power supply. This takes power from the wall and converts it into power that the computer can use. The same concept is used in a laptop or a cell phone, it's just that it's a battery. Next, we want to look at the motherboard. You can't actually see it very well, but you can see it behind all the rest of these components. This is the central part of the computer. All of the other parts are connected to it, and this is how most of the operations are controlled and regulated. For the processor, that's the next part. You can't actually see it because it's underneath this cooling unit. The processor, or CPU, is it takes information and manipulates it and processes it into something that a user wants. And the RAM is the next part. It's these two sticks here. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It's a high-speed memory that the processor can use to go through large amounts of data very quickly without having to wait. The next components are the storage devices. First, you have a hard drive here that you can see, and back behind here is an SSD, or a solid state drive. To show you what a solid state drive looks like, this is what it would look like in a computer. The advantage of these is that they transfer data much faster than a regular hard drive. However, the disadvantages of them is that they have a much higher cost and don't have as much density, and they can't store as much data. The last parts we want to look at on a desktop here, for instance, in this computer, are the expansion cards. This is a graphics card, and this is dedicated completely for video processing. This has an onboard memory controller, so it has onboard memory and an onboard processor just for processing graphics such as games, like this is designed for, and other programs like video editing or AutoCAD, so 3D modeling and that kind of stuff. The last card we want to look at down here is a sound card. This has an onboard or a dedicated sound card, and this is will give you much better quality than a normal sound card. However, most of these are usually built into motherboards as well as the graphics card, but these will give you a little bit better clarity. Taking a look at the back of the computer, you can see there are various ports on the motherboard as well as the expansion cards. The first one we want to look at is the Ethernet port. This is the port where you would plug in a cable that connects you to the internet, which obviously most computers these days do. And devices like cell phones and tablets, those have those built in, and you can connect wirelessly. The other ports here, these blue ports, if you can see, are USB ports. These are what you would plug various peripherals like webcams, keyboards, mice, and those kinds of things to operate the computer. Going down, this is the back of the graphics card. This has various video ports, mainly HDMI, and this is a port that you would connect to a TV or a monitor so that you have video output. And down at the bottom is the back of the sound card, and these ports are where you would plug in headsets and other sound systems such as speakers. In conclusion, that sums up all the basic parts of a computer. What you would see in a desktop is the same thing that you would see in a cell phone, and that's what's amazing about it, that all those components can fit into this, and they can fit into any other size computer. And every computer has to work every part of the computer has to work perfectly in order for it to function. And I hope that gives people a bit of an appreciation of how well designed everything has to be in order for computers to work.